time. So we're going to try this again. This is Jo. I'm the Adult Services Librarian at the Artesia Book Library, in case you don't know who I am. And today we're going to be talking about traditional Mexican spices, well, traditional Hispanic spices used throughout Latin America. And now, if you got a chance, you were able to pick up a spice kit during our curbside hours, which are Tuesday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. In that spice kit, there is a book that I created. It's got information on the spices that I put in the kit, as well as recipes that use the spices. So that's great. And just to let you know, a lot of the information that I put in the book came from our A to Z World Food Database, which you can reach through the databases link on our webpage. And on the back of this bookmark that I included, it has a recipe for making Mexico enchiladas. So now we are going to start again with the spices. I start with the arbol chili. It's in the tall container in the kit. These are the icon of Mexican cuisine. Whenever you think about Mexican food, it's chilies. So these are all arbol chilies. There's several different types. And if you smell them, they smell like salsa, to me anyway. That is the smell that I always pick up when I smell salsa. Arbol chili is Spanish for tree-like. The bush that it grows on branches out like a tree. And they use it to add heat to salsas, adobos, and more. They're 2 to 3 inches long. They are almost always sold dried. And the thing about the arbol chilies is that when they're growing, they're green, but when you dry them, they turn red, and they keep their red color. Most peppers turn brown when they're dried. They're the peppers that are dried in the garlands that they hang around. They're called ristras. And they're also known as pico de pájaro, which means bird's beak chili. They're pretty spicy. They're milder than cayenne and hotter than jalapeno. They have a smoky, nutty flavor, and when you toast it, it enhances that flavor. And it is also one of the main ingredients in chili powder, which I also included in our spice kit. Next, I'm going to talk about the Jamaican hibiscus that I included. Now, it's a dried flower, so it's technically an herb type of spice, and it smells like a flower because it is a flower. The flowers come in white to purple red, and if you look at the ones that are in your kit, these are the purple red. They're the ones that are used for cooking are usually pink or the dark red. There's a thousands of different species of hibiscus. Well, not thousands, hundreds. And this one is Jamaican, but the most common one used in cooking is the Chinese hibiscus. It has a cranberry flavor, and it is most commonly made into teas. So in fact, the recipe that I included in the book for the hibiscus is a tea. The hibiscus in Latin cooking is used most commonly in Mexico and Honduras. And you can get it year round in the grocery stores in the Spanish spices area. But it flowers in most areas during the summer, although you can, unless it's in the tropical regions, and then it blooms all year long. It's also called the shoe flower, I guess because of the way the flower petals look when they're on the vine, on the plant, excuse me. So the next spice or herb, as the case may be, that I'm going to talk about is the safflower. This is safflower azafran. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. And it is basically poor man's saffron. Saffron has always been traditionally expensive. So, of course, they needed something to replace it in a lot of the recipes. So this is safflower. It is, it actually was used most commonly in the beginning as a dye for clothing. And then it was used for food coloring. Now the flowers come in yellow, red, orange, and white. And actually, even though they use it in place of saffron, the most common use for the safflower is the oil that is made. It is considered a relatively healthy oil to use in place of vegetable oil. They also use it in birdseed and meal. So, next, I'm going to talk about the seasoning packet, which is Saison Goya. Now, we included this instead of all the basic herbs because there's like 7 herbs and spices. Actually, they're all spices included in the seasoning. And so rather than give you all the different spices, we just gave you the packet of the seasoning. Now, in the book, there's a recipe to make your own out of your different spices. It is made of coriander, salt, black pepper, garlic powder, oregano, cumin, and annatto seeds that are powdered. The annatto seeds it's a spice made from the seeds of the achiote tree. They're harvested from the annatto fruit, and they're kind of spiky seeds. They're native to South America in the tropical region. They're used from Mexico south to Brazil. It's also used as a food coloring agent and was used in many forms of body paint. So because it has that bright red color. It actually was exported early on once the Spanish and the Portuguese explorers discovered it. So it got spread through the world, and they are used worldwide. It has a warm, nutty flavor. It's sweet, and it has a little bit of a nutmeg taste. It contains vitamin A, calcium, sodium, and iron, and it's also high in dietary fiber. It's preserved so you can find it year-round in the Spanish spices section of your grocery store. It is used to color a lot of your Spanish rice. And it also has been used to make color in cheese, in Colby cheese and cheddar. I find that interesting. You've also got in the seasoning, you've got the coriander, and coriander is interesting. I discovered something new when I was doing this. Coriander is the seed, but the leaves are cilantro. I never knew that. They're the same plant. It's a slender, bright green, branching, herbaceous plant. It grows about 2 feet in height. Now, it's native to the Middle East and Southern Europe, but it's been used across the ancient world, and it's now used everywhere. It's grown in Russia, India, South America, North Africa, and Holland. And all parts of the coriander plant are edible. And the seeds are dried and powdered and called coriander. It has a warm, sweet, and mildly citrusy flavor. And it has a strong, pleasant odor. It's an excellent source of vitamin K, vitamin A, beta carotene, vitamin C, and manganese. And it's not only a part of our Saison seasoning, it's also found in a lot of chili powders, although not this one. They're available year-round. And coriander is actually in the main spices section of your grocery store instead of being limited to the Spanish section. So the other spices we have in the kit are the chili powder. We have cumin, which is honestly the most used spice that we came across in Mexican and Latin American cooking. Cumin is the base of almost everything. We've also got cinnamon, which is used a lot more than I realized. And we've got peppercorn. Now, the peppercorn is what you grind up to create black pepper. And we've also got oregano. This is whole oregano. Most of the time you see it as a powder as well. So I would like to thank you for bearing with us. If you want to learn more about the more common spices, the information is in the book. So I want to thank you for joining us, and y'all have a wonderful day. Oh my God.